Hello everybody. In this session we are going to see something about a very interesting topic in marketing, that is the market structures. The market structures. We have seen in our previous session, one of our previous sessions, what is the definition for a market and all this. Now there are different types of markets which are known as the market structures. There are basically 4 different types or structures per market. What are those 4 types? The 4 types are perfect competition market and monopolistic market and third one is monopolistic competitive market, monopolistic competitive or monopolistic competition, and finally it is an oligopolistic market. These are the 4 different market structures that the present business environment has in its schema of things. Now let us proceed and see each type of the structures in detail. First we are going to see about perfect competition. What is this perfect competition? Perfect competition is basically a market in which there is a large number of buyers and sellers. A large number of buyers and sellers in a particular market. Here the buyers and sellers deal with identical products. They deal with identical products, which means there is very less or no need for advertising for selling those products. And each buyer and seller act independently. Each buyer and seller act independently, and when they are having independence and in a perfect competition, there is a huge amount of information available. So the sellers and the buyers, both of them, are reasonably well informed about the products, or services that is being used, and also about their prices. Here a lot of competitors are there, and there is good freedom to enter market, good freedom to enter the market. In other words, there are no barriers to market entry, and they can conduct the business and leave the market. So this is something which is very important in this particular type of market. Maybe an example is a local grocery store is an example of a perfect competition. Local grocery store or a local stationery shop, electricians, or they are more in number, and there is a lot of sellers, and there are a lot of buyers who avail the services of these particular type of people, like a grocery store or a local stationery shop or an electrician. So this is something about the perfect competition, and these perfectly competitive markets are highly competitive markets. They are highly competitive markets, and the sellers sell products which has no unique characteristics. It is something, everything is completely different. There is no unique characteristics, and the buyers have a lot of options, and they don't care like which seller is going to sell this product and which seller's product to buy. They have a lot of freedom in taking it. Here the firms, because of the competition, they are basically price takers. They cannot dictate the price because there is a lot of competition here, and the market price is an insignificant part of the total market. Here, the basic demand and supply, they determine the functionality of the market. Demand and supply determine the price and quantity, that is the functionality of the market as a whole. Here the demand is perfectly elastic. The demand is perfectly elastic, which means it changes drastically with price. If a particular firm increases the price, the buyer has no hesitation in going to another firm's product which is giving a cheaper price for the same quality. Now, in a perfect competition, the marginal revenue, that is the revenue obtained by selling one extra product, one extra unit of the product, is equal to the market price. Is equal to the market price of the product. And so, if marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost, that is the cost incurred to manufacture one extra unit of the product, economic profit is maximized here. Economic profit is maximized in a perfect competition. Now let us see a graph depicting the economic profit in a perfect competition, in which you take in the x-axis you take the quantity, and in the y-axis you take the price and the cost, which may be in some units like $1, and the quantity in number of units. Here the marginal revenue is constant. Marginal revenue is constant. The average total cost first decreases and then increases with each extra unit unit produced, and the marginal cost, it decreases and then increases steeply with the extra unit and becomes more or less constant over a period of time. Here this is the marginal cost, this is the average total cost, and now this is this area is the profit. This area gives the profit. This area is the profit area here in this curve. Here marginal revenue curve, average revenue is their price. This is the economic profit for a perfect competition. This is the economic profit curve for a perfect competitive market. Now, let us now see about the next type of market, that is the monopoly. Monopoly is a market in which there is only one seller of a product. Only one seller of a product or service, and there are high level of barriers to entry into the market. There is high level of barrier of entry into the market. There are a lot of barriers, and this is to prevent competition in the market. Prevent competition in the market. And example or electricity is generated only by government of India as far as India is concerned, and there are no private electricity firms here in India. So the government has monopoly over the electricity services, and there are 4 types of monopolies basically. That is natural monopoly, geographic monopoly, technological monopoly, and government monopoly. These are the 4 different types of monopoly which exists in any market. In monopoly, The average size of firms is very large size of firms, because there is only single firm catering to the entire market, so the very large number of firms. Now let us see about these four types of monopoly. The natural monopoly is a situation in which, by having a single firm produce a product to minimize costs, minimize the production cost. Example is an oil pipeline in Alaska in USA follow this type of product. In Alaska, the oil pipeline is given by only one company, which is done to reduce the cost of production. The geographical monopoly, as the name suggests, which depends on product in a region by a single firm, only one firm, because of absence of competitors. Example is a petrol pump in a remote village. Where there will be a lot of business because it's the only petrol pump in the whole village. Now, technological monopoly. The third one is technological monopoly. Technological monopoly is because of control of a technological process held by a single firm. Because a firm may hold copyright of any particular process or any scientific advancement, and it depends on the patents and the copyrights held by the firm. This is the technological monopoly. For example, Apple has patents for certain designs, which other firms cannot copy. If they copy, they'll be violating the law. So this is a technological monopoly. And the last one is governmental monopoly, which means it is the monopoly by government. Example, the previous example which we saw, that is the electricity in India. Generally, government hold monopoly over public utility services because they don't want private firms to incur heavy cost or pricing to the consumers, thereby putting consumers in hardships. So for any public utility, mostly the government takes the monopoly and distributes the products or services based on the customer preferences and customer needs as and when they require it. Now, let us now see about the curve for a monopolistic market. A monopoly maximizes profit when marginal revenue equal to marginal cost, which we saw in the previous slide also, and by charging maximum price for consumers who are willing to pay for that output, to pay for that particular output. Now, let us see the curve for monopoly. Again, there are two different axes. X-axis gives the quantity and Y-axis gives the price and cost. Now, the marginal revenue is given by a downward sloping curve. The marginal cost increases over quantity, and the average total cost comes down and goes up, and the demand decreases or decreases. Over a rise in quantity, the demand decreases as the price decreases, because customers are mostly willing to pay premium for monopolistic products. This average cost is the marginal cost, this is demand, and the marginal revenue. The profit is given by this area. This area is the profit. This area is the profit in a monopolistic market. Here. This is the quantity for marginal revenue in which the profit starts. Now let us go and see about the third type of competition, that is monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition. A monopolistic competition is a market in which there is a large number of firms which compete in the market, and each firm produces a differentiated product. And the competition is on price, quality, or marketing. The competition is in these three factors mainly, and there is less entry barriers are very low, entry barriers are low, and exit barriers are also very low in this industry. The only difference between this and the perfect competition is that the products are not identical. In perfect competition, the products are identical, even though it is not of same quality. The products are identical. The product differentiation happens here between competing products. There is a product differentiation here between competing products in the industry. The curve for this is quantity, price or cost. The curve is the demand decreases with pricing. The average total cost goes like a U curve, and the marginal cost decreases and immediately increases over price. It immediately increases over price, and the profit area depends on the marginal revenue. This is the marginal revenue, this is the demand, this is the average total cost, this is the marginal cost, and this is the profit area. This is the profit area here. This is the profit area here. Fine. Now this is the quantity in which the firm should sell to attain this marginal revenue, because here it equals marginal cost equal to marginal revenue here. So this is the economic profit maximization area for a monopolistic competition. The last and final type of competition is oligopoly. In oligopoly, it is a market in which few very large buyers dominate the market. And an example is McDonald's, KFC, and Burger King. There are not much competitors in this industry which food industry, and Burger King, McDonald's, and KFC have same type of products, but they are very large and there are very few competitors for them. Here, when one firm acts, others follow. For example, if one firm decreases the price, other firms also decrease the price, and there is a competition which evolves because of this. Here the firms are basically price makers because there are not much options to choose for the buyer, so the firms decide the price, and the price changes with respect to the competition. Here, one important principle is called as collusion. Collusion is something like an agreement between sellers to sell at specific prices agreed by them. Example is OPEC, that is the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Petroleum exporting countries, they have an agreement to set the price of oil at certain limits, and these companies or these countries follow the same process. Now let us see the graph for oligopoly and the economic profit. Again, the two axes, quantity, price or cost. The demand decreases here. The demand decreases. The marginal revenue is not overlapping on the demand, unlike in other types of markets. The average total cost goes like this, the average total cost, and the marginal cost like this. And this is where marginal revenue equal to marginal cost, and economic profit is maximized here. Now, the profit area is given here. This is the profit area. The profit area for maximized profit. It's given here, and this area is called as the kink here. This is the kink. Because why it is called a kink? Because here the curve defects a bit, the demand curve defects a bit, and this area is called as a kink. So now, having seen about the market structures, we will meet you with yet another interesting topic. Till then, goodbye, have a nice day.